Welcome to the Keep the Faith podcast. I am your host, Tori, and I have a special guest with me today. And of course, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes, it is. Fight on, fight strong.
And I have a survivor in the studio with me today because breast cancer awareness and domestic violence is very near and dear to my heart. So, before we get started with the topic at hand, introduce yourself. Tell everyone and those that don't know, tell us a little bit about yourself. You got this little glow going on, man.
I do?
Yes,
you sure it's not the makeup?
No, you glowing today.
I'm glowing?
Yes, you are.
Wow.
You are glowing.
Well, along with my glow, my name is Natacha Pierre, and now I'm a hunter. So Natacha Pierre-Hunter. I'm a mother of 3.
And how old are the children?
Oh my gosh. I have a 9, 10, and a 13-year-old.
Teenagers?
Yes, the 13, the new 16, I guess, in this world. This world that we are in now, 2021. 13 is the new 16, 17, thanks to TikTok and all of those other things, but that's a whole nother topic on its own.
Listen, that's about 5 topics you done gave me before we went live. About the 5th topic. So you definitely got to come back. But tell everybody about those that don't know. Tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into the topic.
Well, I'm a breast cancer survivor. I'm a mother of 3. I'm also the site manager at Cambridge and Lamar. I was the Darlington County, well, not Darlington County, Darlington Housing Authority resident liaison before I left, which was an awesome thing. And I was, doing a little events and stuff, reaching out to the community. Then I had a nonprofit. I still have the nonprofit, but we are down paperwork.
Right.
Uncle Sam.
I understand.
With him and Our True Purpose of Life Foundation, what I did was throw events for those who was terminally ill. And it was just based off of just taking them outside of the walls of cancer.
Okay.
Of the walls of any terminal illness. We'll throw events where, you
That's
go.
Pretty cool.
Yes, you go to places and they'll laugh, cry, sing. And it's all mapped out of the story of my life, the journey when I had cancer, like Singing for a Purpose when they first found out that I had cancer.
Okay.
The whole church sung a little. He gave a mini concert. Even my brother Stevenson got up and sung.
What?
Yes. So it's all based off of my team and my supporters who did a whole lot for me while I was sick, like crocheting blankets and giving me socks and jewelry and things like that. Yes.
Well, you look good.
Thank you.
So let me say this. Take us back to when you was diagnosed. That moment. Take us back to that very moment when you got the diagnosis.
Oh, Lord. That's a moment like I shared on Facebook. You will never forget. It was in June. And what happened was, I'm going to take you before then. I had a lump in my breast. My doctor always told me to get it removed, and I never decided to remove that lump. When I had my son, Zar, he was 2012. And you know how you go to the 4 months, the 4 weeks checkup things. And Dr. Danzy, she was like, you need to cut that out of your breast, that lump. And I was like, okay, but first I'm going to go, get an ultrasound and stuff. So when I did that, went to go get an ultrasound, everything was fine, but I didn't never go back to get it cut out. I was just ready to live life, be a mother, take care of my kids and things like that. And I was never the one to put health first because I was thinking, heck, I'm healthy. Right, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking my vitamins and I'm doing everything. I might get a cold here and there, but it's not going to last long. So I'm good.
Right.
And, the ultrasound was good. Moved to Columbia and started going to another doctor in Columbia. And he checked my breast, and he was like, "Ooh, what is this?" And I was like, "Oh, they already checked that, and everything is good." And he ordered the records from her, and he was like, "All right, so we're just gonna just do a close watch." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." So then I'm just fast forwarding it. Came back down here,
right,
and went back to her for my annual. I was doing my annuals. Went back to her, and when I went back to her, Tori, she turned around and she was like, "Well, what is this lump?" And I was like, "Yo, this is the lump that was in my chest."
Yeah.
When you remember with my son and all of this. And she was like, "But I thought I told you." And she remembered. And it was like years. She was like, "I thought I told you to cut it out." Yeah. And I was like, "Well, I didn't." Insurance. This is one thing a lot of people don't know, that when you're out of work, your insurance claps if you're not going back to work at a certain time, like after your insurance collapsed. Right. So look, I was going back to work, I need to keep my insurance. I was like, the insurance and stuff like that, I had to go back to work. And she was like, "But I thought I told you to cut it out." And I was like, "Nah, I didn't cut it out, but I'm good. It's good." So she looked at the paper and she was like, "You know what? But you getting it cut out." And then she left and she went and got the order and stuff. And she came back and she was like, "You got to get it cut out." She was like, "Because you're not made to be lumpy." Yeah. She was like, "Your body is not made to have lumps." Mm-hmm. And I respected her for that. Yeah. And she was like, "You getting it cut out?" And I was like, "Okay."
Right.
So I went and got it cut out in June. And it was like, when they cut it out, first they did the ultrasound. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, okay, everything was okay. But sometimes your body gives you a feeling. You're like, everything ain't okay. Right. It ain't okay. And I was looking at the ultrasounds and I was comparing it to Dr. Google. Because, everybody go on Google. And I was like, I remember this is how the picture look. And I'm looking and everybody was like, "Tasha, you don't have cancer. Don't worry about it." And I was like, well, I seen the little flake. Because on the ultrasound, you'll see a little white flake or whatever. And I was like, I've never seen a white flake or anything like that. Right. But so went to the doctor. They did the surgery at Carolina Pines. They cut out of my chest and sewed me back up. And he was like, "Okay, just come back to me to my office 2 weeks later to, let me look at your stitches, whatever, blah, blah, blah." Went to the office and it was me and my kid's dad. Mind you, me and him is like oil and vinegar. We don't like each other. Oh God. We like oil and vinegar. But he was there. Somehow I had him with me because I needed somebody to drive. I don't know why he was with me, but he was there. I don't know why he was with me. And so we was there and I was waiting. And in the car, we was fussing. We was fussing, but we was there in the office and I was waiting and everybody was leaving. So I was like, okay, my appointment's at 3:00. Why am I still here? And they waited till when the office was closed to pull me in the back to let me know. The doctor came in and he was like, "Listen," he was like, "You have stage 3, grade 2. Stage 3, grade 2 breast cancer." And he was like, "The tumor that we moved," and he was like, "It's so shocking because we didn't think that it was cancer, but it is. Wow. And we have to do something immediately." And the only thing I remember is looking to my kid's dad and was like, "I'm about to die." And I was like, I'm getting the worst news in front of somebody I really don't. Like, Lord, this is not the way. No, this is not the way it's supposed to be right now. And I'm looking, I was like, and I looked at him and I was like, I'm about to die. That's all I could say. Like, I'm going to die. And the only reason why I said that is because everybody that I knew who had cancer, I never seen them survive. Only heard about them having cancer after they died. Like, we go to the funeral, what they died of? Cancer. And you're like, oh my gosh. Right. But you never heard of any survival. Even when you look on movies, you always see either somebody having cancer and then they die. Mm-hmm. But they don't have the part where the person actually survived after. Right. So I was thinking, oh my God, I'm just like my grandma who died of colon cancer and those things. And it was just shocking to me. But he came back in and he was like, no, I'm going to refer you to this person, but we got to act soon. And so that's when we acted. We responded. I had to take 6 rounds of chemo. And there was one of the chemos that was red devil. That's what they call it. It's red. And it's just Tori, it's something that you could never forget, because being in the office, being around the people who are just like you. You have people saying, some people get bad news, some people get good news, some people just don't know what news they're going to get, period.
Right.
And it's like when you go there, and I thank Valada Morris, she was with me every step of the way. My mama couldn't go. She helped me with my kids, but Valada was with me every step of the way. She'll take me to the doctor appointments, and we'll sit there and we'll just read. We'll just do everything around those 6 rounds. And then they had me counting my days, like day 1, day 2, day 3. So after you do your 6 rounds, you go back the next day for the Nulesta, if I'm saying it right, shot. And that shot gives you flu-like symptoms and things like that. So you fine after chemo.
Right.
But it's just when you get that shot, it's like everything is all over and you weak. So you count. And it always happened on day 21. I'm good.
Right.
But then day 24, I got to go back for chemo. So you're like, oh my gosh, you have to go back for chemo on day. And it's something where I ask people to make sure you check yourself. Never take your body for granted. And I have to preach that to my kids and things like that, because it's a serious thing and it's a silent killer that where people refuse to talk about it.
Right.
And I appreciate it, because now people are coming out and people saying, hey, go check your breast. Just do this, do that. And I love it, especially when I go on Facebook and I see everybody taking pictures and just having confidence in who they are.
Right.
Even afterwards. Like I chose not to get breasts at the last minute. Like I don't even want breasts to wear. I can't stand breasts right now.
Right.
And everybody like, you need to get breasts, because if you don't get breasts, you're not going to get married. Nobody's going to accept you the way you are. Get some breasts. And I'm like, he's going to be happy for who I am.
Right.
For who this is, because I'm here, but it's the way the world have you with the image of you have to have breasts.
Right.
You really have to have breasts, and it's not that serious. Cut them off. Right. But you could get some more if you want to. Yeah. But right now I'm like at the stage where I have to pray daily to ask God to help me get over the fact of them trying to kill me. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, breasts are gorgeous, but I'm content with being flat chested for now.
Okay. And I want to go through some of the comments. Charlene is watching. Hey, Charlene. Say, hey, y'all. And she said, oh, how I remember those days.
Yes, Charlene.
And she says, breasts are cosmetic.
Yes. And everybody should check them.
Yeah.
You should check them no matter what. And
I was actually talking to a friend of mine, because she has an event coming up the end of the month. And she's actually a nurse, Kendria Robinson. And I was just telling her, with me at the age of 12, I was, because I was taught in school, you know how you do the sex education class and they tell you to check your breasts. And I was a kid. I'm like checking my breasts and I found the lump, right? And I didn't initially tell my mom about it, because I was like, it's probably nothing. But what made me tell her, I probably told her maybe a month or 2 afterwards. And the only reason why I told her, because I noticed that it was growing. Like it started out as a dot. And then it kept growing, and it got up to, it was like, it started like a little dot, like a little metal dot. That what it felt like. And then it went up to like the size of a peanut. And I was like, well, maybe I need to tell her something to, tell my mom. So I told her, and she took me to the doctor. And of course, the doctor told me to have it removed. Now, in my case, I was fortunate and blessed that it was benign, where it wasn't cancerous, and I was okay.
But see, here's the thing. Mine was benign in the beginning, and it turned.
Really?
That's why I was so happy that Dr. Danzy said that we are not made to be lumpy.
Right.
And I shouldn't even use her name in this podcast. I don't know.
That's fine.
But we are not supposed to.
You got to have those doctors that care.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that you mentioned their name, because not all doctors are going to push you like that. And I'm glad that they did.
Yes, because I wouldn't have never, if she wouldn't have forced me to do it. But at the end of the day, she when she walked out of that office, she was like, let this be a learning lesson to you, Miss Pierre. And and when she slammed the door, that if you talk to Felicia, I'm the person who always go by words.
Right.
And talking to you, I listen to words. If I go here in the same words you use, if there's a particular word that you use to me that touch me, and I go to the store and a stranger coming up to me, talking to me, and use the same word that you use, and I'm be like, oh my God, this must be my word, and I need to just listen to this. You sending me something. But when she said those words, and she closed that door, it was like, Lord, you about to teach me something. There's a lesson. There's a lesson to this. And it's just the fact that I wasn't taking heed. I wasn't putting my body first. I was putting family first. I was putting working first, but I wasn't really taking care of self. Self-care is the best care ever.
Right.
And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't understand it. And that's part of it. I used to have a lot of anger. And I remember a lady was like, you got to forgive if you want God to heal you. You have to learn how to forgive and stop being so angry. And I used to have a lot of anger, a lot of build up anger. And, being a single parent or a person who, quote unquote, think that you're in love and things like that, I used to have a lot of anger. You remember how you you told me about a post, you remember? And you was like, oh my gosh.
Right.
Yes. And it was just one of those stages where I was, you have to have that inner peace. That inner peace is the best peace ever. And a lot of people don't understand that.
I'm just going through the comments.
But a lot of people don't understand that inner peace. And I had to learn. I had to learn to become one with myself and bringing myself. But the thing is, when your child look at you and say, are you going to die? That's a harsh one. And I think I posted that on Facebook one time because it was just hurting me that your child is sitting here looking. And I never believed, like, I worked so much. I haven't built a relationship with my kids because I always had them at babysitters or whatever. Somebody keeping my kids while I work double shifts and stuff like that. But you will not get that out of me now. I build memories. I make sure we have those quality time conversations and things. And I don't let anybody into my peace. That's where the blocking stage came from. I will block you out in a minute. And I don't listen, I don't have a problem with being unbothered. Like, if you don't want to bother me, I'm fine. It is like when the top of my head start hurting and when I'm talking to you, I will walk away from you because that means my peace and I'm about to get aggravated. And I work too hard and I know life.
Right.
It's just life, period. Like being happy just to be here.
Oh, let's talk about I told you I was gonna go there, right?
Yeah, I know you are.
I remember when we were my son was going to what was the elementary?
St. John's.
Yeah, when it was at St. John's, and I used to walk to go.
And I was right behind you.
Like, and like I said, when you came into this, like, even when you were walking up today, I'm like, wait a minute, Natacha? Like, you just have a totally different glow about you now. And like I said, back then, and even a couple of, I don't know exactly when it was. I want to say a couple of years when you were on Tanga T, my friend Veronica show.
Yeah.
When you were on Tanga T. Oh, you was like, block this,
block that.
It wasn't like you was gonna let anybody get near you. I mean, and it was like you at that time, and even when we were going to pick up our kids, to me at that time, you didn't seem like you just like, I'm here. You try me if you wanna. Like, what's that thing they got out there talking about? Try Jesus, don't try me. That was your demeanor. Like, you try me if you want
to. But look, you were so sweet because you remember me with my bald head and all. Every time I was standing right beside you and you would talk to me and stuff, and it was just me working on myself spiritually. Like, really, I was going through it. I had a lot of hell in me. I'm admit I had a lot of hell in me.
You was always sweet to me. You was always sweet to me.
That was the outer. That's why a lot of people got to be careful with that. Even though a person is so sweet, inside they could be screaming for help. Screaming. Yeah. And that is like a mask that you like completely put on for the world. But deep down on the inside, you just going through some stuff. Yeah. And you just need to just get it all out and just purify yourself and just be like, Lord, just help me deal with a lot of stuff that I'm going through.
But like I said, other than talking to me, being sweet to me, let me see what Miss Charlene said. She said, we neglect ourselves trying to accomplish what the world considers to be success or accomplish.
Yeah.
She also says, our life lessons teach us such valuable lessons. And once you learn and accept that, you begin to let the real you out.
Yes, ma'am. True. Yes.
And Cheryl Patterson has the praying hands up.
Yes.
But it's like I said, back then, you just wasn't, what the word I used before we went live. You just didn't seem approachable back then.
I wasn't.
Like, if you don't get out my face.
I wasn't.
But it's like the day when I saw you walk, I said, wait a minute. Is that? You heard me. I was loud and ghetto. I said, that's you?
Listen, I'm going to tell you all the keys. Tori, fasting, praying, and eating right is the best thing you could ever do in life because you are what you eat. So if you eat junk, you are junk. And fasting, whatever you putting in, whatever, fasting, not coming one with God, giving God his time. It's the best thing ever that anybody could do.
Right.
Just taking that time out, cutting off your phones, cutting off all social media, and just coming one and just listening to him.
Absolutely. And I'm with the fasting and the praying, but I will tell you, I don't eat right. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm not gonna be on here lying. I don't eat right. Like, I'm trying though. I'm trying because last month I celebrated my 45th birthday. So I'm trying to do better. But let me tell you, just last night, I said I got some grapes, I got some cucumbers, I'm drinking plenty of water. But let me tell you, listen, I had the cucumbers, I had the grapes, drunk like two bottles of water. Then late in about 2:00 in the morning, I'm eating cookies. And I said to myself, once I get this pack of cookies, I'm not getting no more. And I can't even I try to make myself feel better by not getting the regular Chips Ahoy. I get the thin Chips Ahoy. I be trying to make myself, well, it ain't that much. Or I get the thin Oreos. I say, well, it ain't that bad. I'm getting the thin ones. Or I get the baked chip. Well, that ain't that bad, It ain't gonna hurt,
Listen, I like the Oreo cookies. You can't tell me. Look, a family size pack. And then I yell at the kids, who ate all the Oreos?
I'm so serious.
And it's me. So, look, I've been there. And I'm still going through. It's just I'm more careful now. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now I did gain some weight since I got married. I'm not gonna lie to you with that. I did go out. But see, here's the thing. He's full vegan. He's not the meat eater and things like that. It's just I don't know why I'm consuming. But now it got to the point with listen, your health.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't understand when you're overweight, it causes more hormones, and hormones feed cancer.
Right.
So you have to back it down some.
Okay. Now don't just slide that in. How about let's go back. Don't just hold on. Let me make sure I'm not missing any comment. Okay. Don't just slide that in into my you met. Oh, so I'm scrolling through Facebook, right? And it's like probably I want to say maybe 1-2 o'clock in the morning. I said, I'm sleepy. I'm just, I woke up and sometimes you go to bed early and then you wake up in the middle of the night. So
yeah.
I said, well, let me see what's going on this blue
3
app.
o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. I said, let me see what's going on in this app, right? So I'm scrolling. I said, now wait a minute. Did Tasha say she was married? I know good well Tasha said they ain't say she was married because she said, I'm gonna block you. She wasn't trying to. I was like,
listen, Veronica, if she's on here. When I told her, I said, listen, Veronica, don't tell nobody, but I got married. I said, keep this to yourself now. And she's like, you got married? I was like, listen, V, don't tell nobody. Shh. And then next thing you know, later on that day, it was probably around 12 o'clock, she sent me a video of the podcast that we did. I said, ooh, you dirty crook.
Yeah, because I'm trying to tell you, looking at that podcast that time, I was like, Tasha ain't gonna listen. Honestly, when I watched that podcast, no lie, I was like, Tasha is not going to allow anyone to get close to her.
And V used to say, listen, and you're so determined.
Right.
And everybody's like, baby, just let them heal. And then one lady sent Veronica a prayer to pray for me. So that prayer must have worked or something. Because she was like, I pray that God touch her heart and blah, blah, blah. And Veronica sent me the prayer. And I was like, oh my gosh. Yes, but I was protecting my peace.
I understand.
I was protecting my peace. I did date. There was some cool guys out there. Yeah. But it was like when I felt like my peace was being tampered with, I'll block you. I will block you. I don't care.
With no explanation.
With no explanation.
That's me now.
Look, I'll be smiling and laughing, and you be thinking, and you be like, okay, good night. And I'll be like, good night. I hope you have a good day, and blah, blah, blah. And they would never get it until they call. And they'd be like, oh my God. And then they had to call. The one person called one of my close friends, and she called me, and she was like, get him off a block. No! And I was like, no. You tell me what to do. I'm not, and she's like, what's wrong with you? But it wasn't that. I don't know. Blocking my peace. You know how when you become a Christian and how you can tell when people are like in the beginning of being a Christian because they criticize.
They criticize a lot.
And judge everything.
Absolutely.
Oh, she did this. You going to hell.
Yeah.
Oh, you did that. Yeah. You going to hell. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So when I got my peace, I turned around and I was like, I'm not letting anybody in it. Yeah. Regardless of who you are, how you look, whatever you got. Like if you have money, I can make my own money. I don't need your money. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But there was a curse to it as well. Because now since I'm married, I'm learning to put that girl aside.
Right. Put her aside or just totally discard her. Because that girl was mean. Let me tell you, I tell
he
people
still call me mean. He's like, Tasha, you mean.
I tell people a lot. You have to not have, okay, this was me. You put up walls. And see, when you put up walls, you're blocking everyone. Yeah. Even the people that sincerely love you, you're blocking everyone. Yeah. So what I tell people now, you put up gates and see with gates, you open your gates, let people in and out. People that disturbing your peace, just let them on. Just ease the gate open and let them ease on.
Look, I'm going to put up a wooden fence. You cannot see through it.
Listen,
I'm gonna put that wooden fence up, Toy.
You had the wooden fence, you had the wall, you had the thing where you touch it lets you get electrocuted when you go. You was, oh my God, you was so mean.
But look, it was so weird how we met. And it's like we only been together for a couple of months. And we just noticed that when we went to Belk's, and one of my friends, Elaine Bell, She was there. She the one who hooked us up. Okay. And she was like, I'm having an anniversary dinner.
Okay.
And she was like, I'm speaking, but I got to be exact with dates. And me and him was like, what you talking about being exact with dates? What you talking? And he was like, Neil, when y'all met? And he was like, in January. And right. Because we've been together so long, we thought. Yeah. And then she was like, no. And she was making some calls. And she was like, no, y'all been together in April. And I was like, oh my gosh. And you remember I told you I'm the type of person when I talk to somebody and I haven't seen Elaine in a minute.
Yeah.
And I was like, Lord, it was meant for her to tell me this because she came out of the blue. So I'm thinking to myself, I need to say this. This is something I need to put out there.
Right.
April 2020. And then we went ahead and got married in August. But the thing is, a lot of people's like, why did you choose him? The thing is, he read. He has a story of his own. And I like a man who reads. I'm not going to put him out there. If he want to come out there, you say you'll bring us back. Definitely. And I'll let him tell his story. But he's a reader. He's a researcher. He believes in opening up and researching things.
Right.
And he's a Dr. Sebi follower. He's an alkaline diet. Like he look at me, if I have a pig feet in my hand, you're not supposed to eat that, right. And I need that.
Right.
I need that because a lot of people are saying, oh my God, there's riches and wealth. But a lot of wealthy people are dying because of health.
Right.
So I'd rather have my riches and health before the wealth, if that makes sense.
It does. It makes a lot of sense.
So I had to get them. I had it, and and it's just beautiful. Like we'll stay on the phone when we first met, or we'll be on the phone for 12 hours.
Wow.
No kid.
Right. And you know what? Like I said, what I love about the fact that when you walked up today and you had this glow, like I've never seen this glow. I'm just going through the comments. I've never seen this glow before.
Yeah.
I'm going through Charlene's comments. Self said, girl, you hit the nail on the head. Fasting, praying, eating right. Just going back through the comments. You have your own private hell. Yep. And Karen says, it says, good evening, Karen. What's up?
Hey,
how you
Karen.
doing? And so, but yeah, it's like totally different because like I said, you back then you was not like I said, your hair was shorter. As a matter of fact, that's the picture I used for the flyer. Your hair was shorter then, but it's just you was not approachable. Like you was never, like I said, you were never nasty to me. You was always sweet to me.
I'm always sweet, but it was just the face,
the internal.
It was
because you can appear like we know what no one is going on the inside physically. You know what I mean? Because you just don't know.
Like I tell anybody, like when people call me or anybody be like in broken relationships and stuff like that. And I always tell these young ladies, listen, if it ain't good for you, let it go. Because a lot of people don't understand that your spirit is a light in your body. Your flesh is a mess. That's why I always say the flesh is a mess. So if your spirit is not good,
right,
your body is fading. And you got all of this stuff within you and you're not cleansing it out.
Right.
And it's eating away at your bones and at your flesh, and you have to let it go. You have to let it go. You have to. And once I realized that I have to let things go, I can't have it in my circle. And that was the problem with that face. I was like dealing with a whole lot. I was soul searching and just cutting things off within me. Within me, a lot of things. Like I tell people, they be like, "Oh, no, I'm not perfect by far. I have a lot of things that I had to cleanse within myself, which we all do.
Yes,
but some things we bury,
right,
and it comes back up." And you're like, "Oh my gosh!" Because like a couple of months ago, I was seeing some stuff that I thought I buried, and it came back up. And I was like, okay, Tasha, you got to take 2 back, get off of social media and start focusing more on you. because you're not there. And you would never be there because you learning stuff about you daily.
Right.
But there's certain things that comes up in your life and you're like, oh my God, I got to clean this part.
Right.
Let me clean this up.
Right.
Oh, I got to. But a lot of people don't know, if you like in something that's not good, normal, and you're holding out a lot of anger, it destroys your body.
It does. And then a lot of times we sweep things under the rug. Yeah. And basically what happens is it piles up and you start tripping over it. And you're not truly healing. You're just doing something. I know in my case, and I say this all the time, in some cases, you're not healing, you're coping. Yeah. Like you have like different things to use to cope. Maybe alcohol, could be food, could be sex, could be a range of things.
Yes.
And I know for me now, that's like that's one of the things that I do with food. If I'm stressed or if I get upset or something, I use food. But like I said, I gotta do better. I got a whole bunch of cucumbers and stuff I bought yesterday. But I ain't lie, I got some cookies too. But I just gotta.
You got no cookies. Some milk and cookies.
Ooh, some milk and cookies. Man, listen. I'm trying to do better. But here's the thing.
We all are.
But to hear your story is really inspiring me, seriously, to do better. Because I have cookies in the house. I got some chips. Now, I'm going to try, Tasha. I'm going to try. When I finish this bag of cookies and then 2 bags of chips, I'm gonna try to stick to, I got some cucumbers. I have cucumbers, I have grapes, I have oranges, and I got some vegetables that I've been eating. So I'm trying to, but like you said, I noticed that because I'm good with the fasting and praying. Now see, my thing with the fasting and praying, I noticed that once I start doing it more, I can really hear God's voice.
Yeah.
I can really hear his voice. And I can be around people and I can feel their spirit. Yes. And if you come around me, I'm like, something ain't, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm mindful. I tell people all the time, you have to be mindful of, I'm mindful of what I watch on television. Yes. I'm mindful of what I read. And one of my favorite movies is Love Jones. And I'm to the point where I can't even watch that because of I'm not in a relationship. I'm not dating. So I've been abstaining. So I don't want to watch anything that's going to cause a temptation. You know what I mean? So I have to be careful. Most of the time I listen to gospel most of the time, but I do listen to, R&B, but I have to be careful what I listen to because I may listen to the song and it may trigger something. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I may listen to the song and it may make me remember. Should I call him? No. Put the phone down.
Listen, but I'm gonna tell you something. During those times when I get those urges, I had to pray and talk to God. Like I had to become intimate with him.
Yes.
And it's like, it's a beautiful thing.
It is beautiful. Yes.
It's so beautiful. When you get that urge, like right now, when during the fast, if I get so hungry, and I'll be like, Lord, and that's the time I'll just sit there and just talk to him and be like, God, now I'm passing by this Burger King.
Right.
And I love the Whopper double with cheese, extra onions, mayonnaise. But you know what, Lord? You said that you got me. Yes. And you going to bless me, blah, 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 blah. And it just be so funny how me and him just talk. And I'm like, Lord, just help me. Right. But it was just so funny because like I was telling my husband, COVID showed a lot of people about themselves and they don't even know.
Right.
Like just staying inside your home showed you about yourself.
Right.
And certain things that you didn't like or showed you about a significant other that you're like, oh my God, I didn't even know they was like that. You know? And it's like, it's the weirdest thing. But if it wasn't for COVID, I wouldn't have met my husband. I'm going to be honest with you. I told him that. He was like, yeah, because I'd have been busy doing this, doing that. And I still been doing the blocking, honestly. Wow. But I talked to my therapist and she gave me some homework. And she was like, what you're going to start doing, start now, is you're going to start listening to everybody that comes to you. You always say, yeah, you listen to people, you listen to words, but you don't actually listen to people within your circle to know if they're good or bad. You take bits and pieces, but you don't listen to their every word what they are saying. And that's what happened. Like I was like, okay, let me listen to him.
Right.
And I was listening to him, and he was like, I was like, listen, I listen to motivational speakers. He was like, yes, Les Monroe. And I was like, you listen to Les Brown and all of this, Dr. Monroe. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, you heard this, blah, blah, blah. He was like, yeah. I was like, yo, we in this. I didn't even know you did that. He was like, yeah, I listen to this every day, blah, blah, blah. I said, don't you say you listen to that thing at 3:00 in the morning. He was like, no, I listen to it. I was like, oh, but it was like he listens to everything that I listen to.
Wow.
He listened, and he reads like certain books, like 48 Laws of Power, this and that. Like I'm a reader. Tori, I love to read.
Me too.
I love to read. And a lot of people stray away from it. But if you want to know something, just open up a book and read it, and you'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know." And so it was like we was talking about different notes and comparing. Like you remember, I told you our first date, we did a vision board.
Listen,
first date.
Listen,
a vision board.
I'm like, what? Yo, I was like, does she have a brother, or cousin?
First date vision board. It was like a vision board, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is unique."
Very unique.
First dates, I went out, and then next thing you know, the guy would be like, "Okay, you gonna give me some?"
Right?
And I'm like, "I ain't gonna give you nothing. I don't even like you like that."
Right.
Right. And then so it got to the point where I'll go Dutch on a date. I'll be like, okay, I'm going half because I don't want you to say I owe you anything, and because you gonna owe me before I owe you. So I'm gonna pay for the drinks and you pay for the food. How about that? And we're going Dutch on this thing. And so that's what it was. But with him, it was like totally different. He was like, no. Let's do this. And we read a book together, and then we started doing devotion in the mornings and things like that.
Wow.
So it's like a whole story to us. Granted, the world says that you're supposed to know somebody for a long time before you get married. This is what the world. But God says something different. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to know, the world looked at us like it was taboo to get married early. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nothing about it. But out of the year that me and him been together and married, it's like our dating stage, which is cool. Like we understand it. I do have some times where he gets on my nerves. I get on his. I know. Because Toy, I am mean. He say, you're mean. And I'm like, I'm not. And then I have to tell him. Then I'm like, okay, am I mean? And he's like, yeah, you mean. And and he's the nice, easygoing person. And now I'm like, no, move over. I got it. And and that's the thing where it's not good to be so independent. And I'm learning to let him be the man, let him lead. And I just step back. And so it guys is ups and downs. And we're not like this perfect married couple because we still learning each other. Yeah. But that's the awesome thing about this, because we are painting a picture, and it's going to be a Picasso, I guess.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And hopefully we'll be able to talk to everybody else with this. But it's just, the world if you're not doing things by the world, you're not part of it no more.
Right.
And you're going to get judged by it regardless. So if we make it, we good. And if people are, I told you they shouldn't have got married in the first place. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It is what it is. But we're going to enjoy our life and our moment while we have each other. And it's going to grow. It's going to grow from there. But a lot of people don't understand that, Tori. They be like, you supposed to live with the person, do this, do that. And, you know, and it's not all about that.
Yeah. I was just like, but here's the thing. You remember you said earlier, hold on, I was trying to scroll through the comments. Hold on. Yeah, here's the thing too. When you said somebody said that you would not get anyone based on whether or not you had breasts.
Yeah.
And the devil was a lie.
Listen,
you got a whole husband.
Listen, listen. I'm gonna tell you. After breast cancer is something that a woman have to, and I was gonna post it, and God, you know, I be up in the mornings.
Yeah, I see that.
Early in the mornings.
Yeah.
And this is like my talk with God and things like that. And I was going to post it, and God was like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. And see, so the things that I post, I go through him first.
Right.
And then he'd be like, post it. And certain things like that wedding picture, I post, not the picture of me and him, it was like around about 10:30, and it was like, post it. And I already had it written. And it was like, no, post it now. And I was like, okay, posting it. Mm-hmm. But what I was about to say, but it's like after breast cancer, you have to learn how to trust your body all over again. Mm-hmm. You have to learn how to trust either your breast being removed. You have to learn how to trust just having the expanders and all of this stuff. And it's not as like the actual boob, and then they have to do the tattooing of the nipple. Some people just have to be comfortable with having one breast. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when you go around and, like, for instance, some people can't even have kids no more. I'm in that gap. You know, you can't have kids because the chemo pills that you take causes uterus cancer. So it's like there is like an ongoing thing constantly. So you have to trust your body. You got to trust going to the doctor and taking tests, and then going home praying that they didn't find anything.
Right.
That's the most scariest thing ever. And I probably had PTSD, and there's somebody else out there, and you're not alone. You know what I'm saying? But you have to learn all of that all over again. And you have to say, yes, I'm beautiful regardless of how I look. This is the way I am. If you don't like me, it is what it is. I had a guy once told me, listen, I can't date you because for the simple fact, I'm going to stress you out and you can't have stress. And I appreciated him for being so real.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, but it hurts yourself. But it hurt my feelings. But it's like, oh my God. Then you have the times where you go and people will be staring at you. Like people staring at me. And you know, if you don't have a chest and you have a little belly, it looks like sometimes you're pregnant. And some people will come up to you and ask you, well, are you pregnant? I'm like, no, I'm not pregnant. And I had one lady in the store say, oh, you are thick all in the bottom, but flat up top.
She said that.
Yeah, at Food Line. And I look, and I'm not approachable like he's sitting out here. You know, and I look at her, and I had to explain to her. And she was like, oh, you're a survivor, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. And it's like, you have to deal with these things.
Yeah.
But it's the world, and the world don't understand.
Right.
And then when you survive, you have to survive. And trusting in yourself, trusting in going to the doctor, knowing that everything is going to be okay. And if everything is not, knowing that you have to fight more, it's crazy. Or then you go online and you see that somebody didn't make the battle.
Right.
That's a hard thing. Like watching my mom suffer and die from cancer. That was a hard thing. Because you see this disease, you fought it, and you won. And then you see her, and you remember my mom.
Yeah.
And it's like how it just takes you from one end and just puts you down real fast. And it's like, wow, there's no cure. And it's like, what can you do? They do have the chemo and stuff like that, but it's a constant battle. And then my therapist told me one thing, and she said, you know why it's like that? Because you can't control it. You can't see it to control it.
Right.
So, and when she told me that, I was like, yeah, you're right about that.
Right.
I can't control it.
Right.
Only thing you can do is just live life.
Right.
And just enjoy life. Whatever comes, you just handle it then. And it's just, and so that's where the stage I am at, Tori.
Just living life.
Just living life.
Just living life. Let me go. We got a couple more comments that came through. Let me see. Charlene said, let it go. When we were talking about something earlier, let it go. Let everything that I'm learning that, Lord.
Let it go.
And Karen says, that's so true. The thing that helps me heal after I lost my mother is music. Yes.
Yes.
And Taisha says she has a beautiful spirit, just as beautiful. And yes, she is. Isn't
Thank you.
Yes. Taisha, boy, she mean a little bit though. Let me say used to be. Because let me tell you, like I said, let me say this. Back then, I'm noticing back then, as I remember you when you had your shortcut, you had your hair dyed blonde. And as I think back at that time, it just seemed like, even though, like I said, you was never mean to me, it's like you had a dark cloud around you.
Yes.
And when you say, Tori, making sure you're in the right building, when I walked, I was like, it's like there was a bright, I'm telling you, your glow, like, is so strong that it walked before you because I'm telling you, I'm all ghetto. I'm like, that you? Because you look totally different.
Sorry, it's
totally different.
I had to give it to God. I had to learn to give everything to God. And look, I'm still working on myself. Like I told you, I found some things out a couple of months ago about myself that I didn't like. And I was like, okay, Lord, you showing me. Sometimes God will show you. Sometimes God will cause chaos in your midst so you can sit down and listen to him.
Right.
You remember? He caused the chaos. And you be like, oh my gosh. And then you have to just sit down and pray. Who that was? That was Jonah, right? When he was under the shade tree or something. Which one? Who that was? Under the shade.
Listen.
And God caused the worm to come and eat up. Somebody going to put it. Charlene or somebody will put it up.
Listen, don't make me lie because I ain't no Bible scholar now.
Listen, but he ate the shade tree. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say Jonah, but the guy got on his knees and started praying after he didn't have any shade. So it was just showing me you can't get comfortable at one area because God got plans for you and Absolutely. You have to keep it moving and you have to let certain things go. You have to learn that certain people is not going to come with you. You have to do this on your own because this is what I call you to do. I was off of Facebook. I was off and I was like, Lord, and I was still dealing with the issue of getting back on. And then I was like, he saved me. And I have to tell the world about breast cancer and the things about it and going to get yourself checked. Because just because you're taking vitamin E and all of this stuff and getting your annuals, you have to. You're not made to be lumpy. You're not. If there's a lump, cut it out. That's when I'm pro. Well, they say it's get it out because it can turn. Because mine's turned.
Right.
And I don't even understand how it turned. But I didn't even know they turn, but they do.
Wow. And
a lot of people don't know that.
I didn't, because when mine was benign, I'm thinking, oh, I'm okay. So now you really scaring me now.
Yeah.
And then I don't, like I said, I don't eat perfectly healthy.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Because, the food that they're making now is processed.
Yeah.
And it's not good for us.
And see, what I do when I cook my food, I like to bake a lot. I don't eat a lot of fried foods. I like to bake stuff. Like me and my son like I like to bake my salmon and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I don't eat a lot of fried foods.
That's good.
Yeah.
But look, I like fried fish, fried chicken. Like I hate going to gas stations with good fried chicken and stuff. And you go
not the gas station with good fried chicken.
Yes. I hate going into them stores, Tori.
And Karen says, amen. Thank you for the Bible lesson today.
Karen, you got to look it up because I don't know if it's Jonah for just check. But I don't know.
Listen, I don't know for sure.
I don't know for sure, but he was under the shaded tree, and God caused the worm to come to eat it up. Mm-hmm. I think it was a fig, and then he had to get on his knees and pray. So God causes chaos, so you can just step back and listen to him more.
Wow. Now, what would you say to someone? And I think I asked Kendria this question as well, because you are a survivor. What would you say to someone that, like we were talking when we did a live with her, there are some people that may have the history of breast cancer or some type of cancer in their family. And they may be nervous, especially when breast cancer runs in their family with the women. And they don't want to, get tests, like have your mammograms and they don't want to do that because they're scared that, I have family that, they're saying the conversation I had with someone is like, I have a couple of family members that passed away from breast cancer. So I don't want to know. And that's dangerous.
I had a person that actually told me they rather have die from AIDS than breast cancer.
Really?
Yes, because they seen the way their father passed from it.
Wow.
And so cancer is a serious thing.
Yeah.
And I tell anybody, you have the right to be fearful because I was scared.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the earlier, the better.
Right.
The earlier. If I should have got my lump cut out early. If I would have got my lump cut out earlier, they would have been able to detect it. And then I wouldn't have been in stage 3. You get what I'm saying? I was knocking on stage 4's door.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's more so of thinking, how much do I love myself?
Right.
And how long? Because a lot of people feel like if I find out and I might die quicker. If I don't know, I'm going to live longer. Right. You get that. Some people have that
mindset. They're thinking that mentally, if I don't know about it, then, but then if I know about it and you're stressing about it, that's going to take me out quicker.
Yeah. But look, Angelina Jolie, that's the path that one of my doctors one of my surgeons had me to follow, and I was studying her. And her mom died of it. So what she did, I don't even think she had breast cancer, but what she did was just got all of her breasts cut off just because of that. Mm-hmm. See, I feel like you should know because they say anybody under the age of like 35 or 32 or something, 9 out of 10 their kids will be either in the bracket of getting it. So I have to prepare my kids, even down to my son. I have to prepare them. If you feel a lump, let me know. Right. They already know how to touch their chest and things like that. But it's a generational curse that needs to be broken.
Right. And this is the thing what people don't talk about. It affects men as well.
It affects men. Yeah. And I had the pleasure to be introduced to a lot of men who has been affected by it. They don't like to speak about it, but it had a lot of men do have it. A lot of men do have it, but it's a silent killer. Colon cancer, all cancer is a silent because a lot of people find out about it at the last minute. Right. But I feel like everybody, especially us, we need to get checked.
Right.
I mean, I understand about the fear. But just know that you have a good support system.
Right.
And God got you.
Yeah, he does. And we have to also be aware that, sometimes your healing is not always on this side.
No.
Sometimes your healing is on the other side,
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's. Let me tell you something.
You did the same thing. It's.
And because we want that person around, the selfish part of us wants them to be here. We want them to heal on this side, but that's not always what God has. He has the final say.
Yeah.
And
Somebody asked him what book and chapter. Let me look. So you don't mind me using
what book and chapter and verse? Yeah, sure.
Let me listen. That's Karen.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do Google to see.
She said, I'm so sorry about that, and I'll be praying for you and your family. Because I don't know. I really don't.
Provided a leaf and made it grow up over Jonah to give shade for his head to ease his discomfort, and Jonah was very happy about the plant. It says Jonah, the 4th chapter.
Let's see if I can put on. You said Jonah 4th chapter?
Jonah, the 4th chapter. I was right.
And what verse?
The 4th chapter, starting at the 6th verse.
6th verse.
And then the 7th verse said, but God prepared a worm when the morning rose the next day.
Okay. So it's Jonah,
the 4th chapter, 6 and 7.
6 and 7. 6 through 7?
Yeah, 6 through 7.
Okay. Let me see if I can post that. Okay. So it's JONAH
4 through
6 through 7.
Yes.
Okay.
But they can read more because it gives more of the story. But God had him to he prepared the tree for him for the shade. But then he had the worm to come to see.
Hey, you taught me now. That's the same Jonah that
well.
Yeah. That's the same Jonah?
Yeah.
Jonah I never heard that one before.
Yes.
I've been thinking about, that's why I said Jonah.
Yeah.
You taught me something because I'm thinking about the whale. I'm like, I didn't know. I'm getting real country. I ain't know about the tree.
Yes, because yes.
Wow.
It's a good
I'm gonna go and read that tonight. That's interesting.
Yes.
I'm gonna read that.
Y'all read it and let me know what y'all think about it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things that's scripturized because I think I put a scripture of healing and things like that. It's just because God sometimes speak through us through his word.
Absolutely.
And show us
all the time.
Yes. And then you have somebody to come up to you and say the verse that you just finished reading and you be like, oh my God.
Right.
That's
absolutely. Absolutely. But yes. And the other thing I was going to ask, what do you say to those that may experience loss like you? Because I know it was, like you said, it's hard for you to receive your healing on this side.
Yes.
And your mom didn't.
Listen. So I'm about to be in tears now talking about it because she died December 2018. The 18th, 2018. The last thing I had was Zumba at the park. And then I was doing little things with the housing authority. Far as I think we did a banquet or a gala we had, and it was for that Christmas.
Yeah.
So she was sick then, and the housing authority was really those group of ladies was really helpful to me. I thank God for them, talking to them and stuff like that. And it's like when she passed, that's like the most, because you don't want to question God.
Yeah.
But your flesh
yes
says otherwise.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're like, okay, my mom was the type of person, she read the Bible. She's the woman of God. Like she read the Bible back to back, 5 o'clock in the morning, every day, ever since I was little. She have a devotionals. She would just read. And to see how she suffered was like, had that little question mark. But I knew not to because I was looking at me. But it's like, oh my gosh. And I had a lady by the name of Miss Lisa who told me the same exact thing that you was saying about a better healing on the other side. that special, and I call it that special bell. She had that special bell to ring because she don't have no more pain, but it was still sorrowful for me.
Right.
Because I haven't done anything since then.
Right.
Like I haven't spoke. I haven't done anything. I just shut completely down. And then that's when Veronica had me doing the podcast. So I was battling with a whole lot. Really? I was blocking people, but I was also missing my mom and things. And I would come up and do her for her birthdays because she promised me. And she asked me, she was like, I want you to do stuff on my birthday. Right. I want your siblings to do something, but I want you also to do stuff like throw an event, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But it's still fresh for me. Yeah. It's still fresh.
But with your mom,
it's
your mom, you never, because a lot of people, I don't like when people say,
you can't get
time. I don't believe in that.
Because you miss a piece of you.
Yeah.
And I had to explain that to somebody. Here's this lady who carried me in the womb. Right. So that's all I knew. I ate with her because in the womb you eat. She fed you.
Yeah.
To now say she's not there no more.
Right.
Like I told somebody, the only reason why I'm staying at a certain job is because I don't have my mama to call and for her to tell me to quit. That's how close I was with my mama. Because I would be like, Mom, blah, blah, blah. And she'd be like, leave it now and give them your keys. Okay. And I'm leaving, and I don't have that now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's just knowing who to talk to and things like that. Because me and my mom, I could tell my mom anything. I could tell her anything. She'll be on the couch and I'll sit there and just spill out my guts. And she'll say, oh, Tasha, this don't sound right. She was my advisor.
Right.
She'd be like, why you did that? Why you did? She gave me that outlook of the world.
Right.
And it came a time where people was like, then I started, when she left, I started clinging on to other people.
Right.
And certain people are not your mom. Certain people are not your mom. And certain people won't guide you the right way as your mom.
Right.
But you can't heal from it. I mean, you can heal, but it's going to be a while. For me,
it's an ongoing process.
It's an ongoing process.
Yeah. And 2018, that's fresh.
It's still fresh.
Yeah, it's like 2018, like yesterday.
Yes. Yeah. And it's like Christmas is.
That's what I was going to say, like with the holidays coming up. And
it's not Christmas. It's not like good for us. Like me and my family, we just came back from Tennessee and we had fun for her birthday and things. But it's still like, if she was here, what would she do? And we'll talk about memories and things like that. Right. And everybody, like the people at my dad's church would be like, we wish you could have met her mom. And my husband would be like, why? I said, you know what? My mom probably would have ate you up just now because you think I was something serious. You see my mom. She was very stern. Yeah. And if she didn't like you, she'll tell you. She'd be like, I don't like you. And you're like, why you not? I just don't like you. She went. Right. And she do, but I love her. I love her. And I really do miss her. I'm not going to lie. I missed her. Like, her prayers, just hearing her prayers in the morning is something that on my days off, Tori, I used to go and lay on her on her couch. Mm-hmm. And now I don't have a couch to lay on. I'll go bug my daddy and stuff like that. Yeah. And I have my mama Joy, and she's so good. And I thank her. Mama Joy, I love you dearly because I know you're watching. I love you dearly. But that mom is like, oh my God. Because she was there. Yeah. She was there. And it's something that you
Well, I didn't want to get emotional because I'm emotional. So let me see what Karen says. Karen says, thank you. I know the feeling because I lost my mother. It's going on 4 years this month. So it'll be 4 years since she lost her mom.
Yes. Praying for you, Karen. Yes. Moms. Those moms and Mother Day and all of those things.
Yeah.
It's,
gotta be like Mother's Day, all holidays with your mom
But
and their
see,
birthday.
yes, and she had colon cancer, and see, and her mom died of colon cancer, and her mom's mom died of colon cancer.
What?
So everybody's like, "How did you get breast cancer?" And it's the
Wow.
weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing.
Wow.
So I have to train my kids to not only check for, breast cancer, but also check for colon. So now, since I'm almost close to 40,
Yeah.
I will have to go ahead and get my colon checked and things like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So it's like on orange. So that's why I have to beg and tell people, go ahead and check your body.
Right.
Don't like listen. Take a day off and go to the doctor.
Listen,
Because the only thing the job is going to do is replace you and send your family flowers. That's it.
right. And then the crazy thing about it, like a lot of people that work from home, because I got upset about a situation. People that work from home that transition, the job really don't care.
No.
They knocking on your door. Oh, can we get our computer? Now you just lost that. There was a situation that came up, and I was upset, but they was not concerned about them losing their loved one. They just want their computer back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? You worry about a computer that is lost it, and you worry about your doggone computer?
Listen.
Are you serious? Ooh, that thing had me mad. But anyway, I digress. I digress.
Listen, those jobs don't care. They don't really care. They don't care. And the thing is, the thing behind it is we build a relationship with the job, and we don't keep it as business like them. We don't think as business.
Right.
We think as it like they're a part of our family at the home, but the owner it's just business. You bringing in money in our pockets.
Right.
Like we'll send you a card. Some send cards, some don't. Some like, let's get on to the next one.
Wow. Sharon says they don't care. Hi, Sharon.
Hey, Sharon. No, they don't care, Sharon. That's why you guys go ahead and do your vacation.
Yeah.
Check your bodies and stuff like that, because you have your kids and family to live for.
And if you got PTO, use your PTO.
Girl, let me tell you, because when I first got sick and I didn't use my PTO, and I had the short-term and long-term disability. When I had the short-term, long-term disability, they didn't give me all of my short-term because I had a whole lot of PTO time.
So they made you use your PTO?
Yeah. I had to use all of my PTO before the short term kicked in. And then after the short term kicked in, by then they kicked me off to start the long term. The long term, you have to send all of the doctor stuff, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And then they send me a contract saying, listen, we'll give you this amount if you sign this contract stating if you get approved for disability, we pay you. You're going to pay us back. And I was working with this company for a long time. And I was crushed.
Right.
Y'all just don't know when a person is suffering with a terminal illness and they was working and stuff, because they have to deal with the part from the job too. Because you feel like, I did this with this job. I put all of this in here. And now you telling me if I do this, then I'm going to have to give you back. They wanted to give me $34 a week if I didn't sign that contract. You get what I'm saying?
$34.
Jesus. So so it's like you have to deal with that. The health part is so crazy down to the insurance, and a lot of people don't understand that with the insurance. And then when you want to get disability and things like that, the government gives you a hard time for disability. A lot of people don't understand that. And some people wait to the last when the person die and then they want to approve it. Like, come on, guys. Like, people are actually suffering out here. Right. And this is the way the world is. Like, oh my gosh. And then they put you on to Cobra saying, listen, you was paying $235, now you're going to have to pay $685 every 2 weeks. Where you going to get that money from? Right. You get what I'm saying? To keep your benefits.
Yeah.
The thing that saved me was Obamacare.
Yeah. Like, and a lot of people That's what we were talking about the other day. Y'all just don't understand. Y'all just don't understand. And Sharon said that's terrible. My goodness.
Yes.
But y'all don't understand. Everybody talks so much trash about Obamacare.
That's what saved me.
Listen. Say it again.
That would save me.
And they talk so much trash. And I was listening to what it was. I think that was D.L. Hewley. I was listening to the other day, and they were saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. People talk so much trash about it. But now, let me not get political. Let me shut up because it's about time to wrap up. Yeah. But listen. Okay, so you on the other side of, like I said, you on your side. I'm just so happy to see this light of you just bright. Like, I just love seeing you happy. And you can tell.
Serious?
Like, you can tell it's authentic is what I'm saying. Yes. Yes. Because I'm telling you, I'm looking, I'm like, that ain't when you was walking up, I was like, nah, that ain't
it's a me.
It's like, that ain't the same girl.
It's me.
Oh my God. Me. You like just a whole bubbly ray of sunshine now.
I'm unbothered. Tori, I'm unbothered.
And it's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing to be unbothered.
But listen, I gotta get to where you are. Well, I'm where you were when you was on Veronica's show, the Tank Tea. I still got that blocker spirit, boy.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. If my husband was here, I should have bought him.
Yeah, you got to come back and bring your husband.
I got to bring him. But the first argument we got on, and he probably looking now. The first argument we got in, because hey, I'm learning with marriage, you're not gonna think alike. You're not alike. You're not. And I love him. I love him. But he made me so mad. And I said, okay. I put him on block.
I know you did not
put your... I did.
No, you ain't block you.
I put that little rascal on block. And then that was the day where, I don't know, my therapist that I have, she is so, I love her dearly, because she'll just pop out of the blue and she'll be like, hey, you okay? It's like she feel me. I'm like, and I had to talk to her. And as a matter of fact, it was the day that I was supposed to talk to her. And I told her, and she was like, get him off a block now. That is your husband. I was like, yeah, you're right. But you got to understand where I'm coming. This is the old Tasha. We're not going to do the old Tasha with this. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get him off a block. So, Tor, the only thing I'm going to tell you.
I can't even fathom you blocking your husband.
Tori, I did it. So I'm telling you, I'm not perfect. It's like I'm there. Okay. I'm there. But there's still a little bit. That's part of the little bit where I told you I need to clean up. Mm-hmm. I just buried it, but it came back up.
The scary part, though, is I'm scared I'm gonna be like that.
But look,
I'm laughing, but I'm scared I'm gonna be like
no, but look, he understands me.
Okay, that's good.
And as long as the guy understands you,
mm-hmm.
Because he know I ain't going nowhere. I came back home. you know what I'm saying? I blocked him to only come home to say, hey, how you doing? you know, that was crazy on my part because I'm going to see him anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What the proper way as my therapist, you're supposed to say, listen, I don't want to talk right now.
Yes.
When I come to, I will let you know and then we can talk.
Yeah.
It's called communicating.
Right.
And that's the part where the blocking comes in, where I was blocking, but I was communicating with the people to let them know this is what you done to me, and I refuse to have you in my circle. Right. So that's where I'm at now. I'm not going to block you no more. I'm just going to tell you, this is what you done to me. You hurt me.
Right.
And this is how you hurt me. So since that happened, I can't deal with you no more.
Right. Oh my God, that's good. Let me see what Sharon says. Sharon says, we pay for insurance only to get denied benefits. Obamacare saved a lot of people, but Trump wanted to get rid of it. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Tanya says the glow up is real. What's up, Tanya?
Hey, Tanya.
Listen, let me just put this little plug out there. If you don't have the little black book of poetry, Miss Tanya Morin, you gotta get it. It is awesome.
It is.
Tanya did a big shout out to Tanya Morin. She did a book release, book signing over the weekend. She did it at the perfect time too, during Wilson homecoming. And then she's a class of 87. I think that's the right class of 87 at Wilson High School. And big shout out to those Tigers because they did it up. They did it up. But I gotta show love to Tanya. Tanya is so cool, man. Tanya's so listen. I got Tanya's phone number. I'm gonna text Tanya when we get off because Tanya's dope. And this is a crazy thing. Let me say this before we end. One thing I can say about Tanya, I ain't even known Tanya a full because I met Tanya in December of 2019. And Tanya has supported me more than people that have been with me my whole life.
Wow.
And that says a lot about her character. Yes. So I had to be there Saturday. I had to show. She always shows up for me. And that means a lot. So Tanya, if you're still listening, I'm giving you props. I'm giving you flowers now. Because that means a lot. Because you have people that have been knowing you all your life and will not support you.
Yeah.
And she hasn't been knowing. We haven't even known each other a full 2 years. Because it was December of 2019. And she has been supporting me from day one, dropping gems and giving me advice. She's the reason, honestly, she's the reason why because I was going to give up on the podcast. I really was.
Don't you do that.
I was going to give up, but nuggets that she imparted in is the reason why I kept going. Now, initially, I wasn't as consistent, but, listening to her and just watching, she's a true, authentic person. She's real, and she's gonna tell you about yourself. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna tell you the truth, and you need those people in your life that's gonna tell you. Yeah, that's gonna tell you the truth. So I appreciate you, Tanya. So I gotta give you your props.
Look, she's talking about
And Charlene is watching. And Charlene said she got to get the book too. Yeah, Charlene, definitely get the book.
Yes.
It's awesome. And she said, and Sharon says Tanya is a wonderful person. Yes, she is. Yes, Tanya. I gotta give you your flowers. I gotta give you your flowers. So y'all, matter of fact, Tanya, put in the comments the link or what people need to do to get your book. Because hey, we're trying to move some books there. That little black book, we're trying to move some books. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So put the information, Tanya, in the links.
And before we leave, I do something called the I had them and I left them in the car. Really? I was so happy to see you. I was like, Tori, I have the survivor kits that I always do. Me, Velada Morris, the Mary Kay girls, we always have these survivor kits with the the lip gloss, the lotion and things for cancer patients. Oh, cool. So if you are interested in one, it's $30 for it, and you get all of that the total packet, the lotion, the lip balm, and things like that for cancer patients. I usually add socks and stuff for that.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, because when I did my donations, I didn't ask for monetary donations. I just really wanted socks and things, and I'll put that all in the basket and things like that. So yes.
Oh wow, that's dope. Okay. Yes. And Tanya, official release is November 1st. All links will be out there. Thank y'all. You're welcome. So we got the exclusive. Yes, that's what's up. See that's the exclusive. That was an earth.
Yeah.
Listen. Y'all. I got mine. Y'all better get yours.
Okay.
Yeah. That was. It's good though. It's really good. I'm enjoying it. I'm probably gonna be finished tonight because I'm a reader. Like you said, I read, and when it's interesting as a page turner, I'll read a book in a day. The day and a half, and I'm halfway through the book, Tanya. Because I like to read. Yeah, I'm already halfway through the book. Yeah.
Yes, I love people who's writing books because my dad, he's writing his books.
Yeah,
and it's just a beautiful thing. His is worship is a necessity or something like that. I gotta my dad.
Listen, what I need you to do is put his information in the comments when you get
I'll do that. But I know he looking. She's sitting there. They talking about books. Daddy, I got you.
We're gonna put the information, Daddy, in the comments so people can purchase it as well.
It's a beautiful thing, and I got to get Tanya's book because it's a beautiful thing. We have to learn to start supporting everybody locally as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now y'all know I'm big on support.
Yes, you are.
I'm big on support.
Yes, you are.
Listen.
Even in the comments, you be supporting. I'm like, go ahead, Tori. Look at it.
I gotta show love. I gotta show support. That's just who I am.
Yes.
But like you were saying earlier, sometimes I do have to realize I have to take some time for Tori. But I just want to show up for people. You know what I mean?
But sometimes it could be distractions too. Because I'm the type of person, when God give me something to do, then here comes somebody else with something else, and I'll be like, "Oh, let me help them right quick." And then
let me tell you something. I actually had to. I'm learning how to say no. It's still a little. It's still a little difficult sometimes, but I'm learning to say no. Let's see. And Sharon says, "How do we purchase my mother's a breast cancer survivor?" Okay. Sharon, I'm going to give you that information as well.
Yes. Put her in my I'll give you that.
Yeah, Sharon, I'm going to get in contact with you when we sign off.
Chemo Green just sat in, Sharon.
And thank you, Sharon. Say I'm a super supporter.
Yes,
it's all about showing love, man.
It's good.
I got to. And she says, "Okay, thank you." Yeah, Sharon, I'm gonna get the information from you. For you, and I'll text it to you. Text you that information. But what is one thing we want to end the show? What is one thing you want to say to those that like I said, you're on the other side of the healing. You're a survivor. Yeah. Let's say this. What does the month of October, not just being a survivor, what does it mean to you when you hear the two words breast cancer? What does that mean to you? And what advice would you give to someone? And I know I'm throwing a lot, but what advice do you give someone that may have gotten the diagnosis and they may have the initial response as you, I'm going to die?
Okay. Like I tell everybody that I come in contact with, it's all right to be scared. Mm-hmm. But have that scared as being determined to live. If that makes sense.
It does.
Have that to be a motivation for you to live. Because I was scared. But people were saying, no, you can't be scared. No, you have the right to be scared. Own your feelings. You have the right to cry. You have the right to be scared. You have that right. I know God don't want us to be fearful, but at the end of the day, you have the right to be scared because you don't know.
Right.
You don't know, but use that as motivation to live.
Absolutely.
Forgive and just work on you mentally and spiritually. Work on you. Sometimes like I put going into that bubble, and I had a lot of people who wouldn't allow me to go in the bubble. But when I decided to go, I would be meditating. So then I had to turn around and just cry in the shower. And I talked to one of my nurses that I used to work with in Columbia, Terry, and she was like, "It's all right to cry."
Yeah.
It's all right. When you're crying, you're cleaning your spirit. And I was like, nobody never told me that. It's just like cry. So I'm a bucket of water. If you see me at the stoplight in the car and turn around, the eyelashes down, I've been crying.
Right, right.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
So only thing I will tell those people is it's all right. Own your feelings, but get out of it and fight. Just fight. Like my daddy told me, you have to fight. Stop crying and fight.
Right.
Fight. That's just fight, Tor.
And look at you now. Look at you now.
It took a team. It took a team.
You look good.
It took a team, Tor. God bless me with a team. Took a team of people to understand me, because I'm the type of person you can't talk to me oh, baby, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
You gotta, hey, do this, da. And I'm like, oh, okay.
So you gotta be stern with you.
You gotta be real stern. And that's what I needed, because like when I was diagnosed and I was outside crying, my daddy got on the phone and my mama was like, okay, hung up the phone. She was sad. Then here come my daddy, I'm crying. And he's like, stop the crying. Stop the crying. You got to go to God for yourself. And you know, he got the Jamaican accent. You got to go to God for yourself.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, fight.
Right.
And he hung up the phone. I was like, you know, and that was it. It's time to fight. We're not crying no more. It's time to fight.
Wow.
And so that's what you got to do. And it's scary. And I'm not going to sit there and say it's not scary.
Right.
It's scary. It's scary going to the doctor's appointments. It's scary just to go before you go to your chemo to see how far your cancer did and what's going on with the lump and all of it. It's scary. It's a scary thing. And it's okay.
Now this has been such a great show, man. God. And so I'm gonna tell you this: when you come back, you got to come back when bring your husband the next time.
Yeah, he got a story of his own.
I want you to.
That's Mr. Dr. Alkaline, and he believes.
Listen, I want him to tell his story, and I want you all to tell your love story.
Oh yes, I love story.
Yes,
story. We'll do that. You know, that'll be good for February.
Okay.
No, but it's
for love. For the
love.
Valentine's
love. Yes. Listen, I wish I could hear Victor, because you remember I was on the show with Victor then, and he was like, you're going to block somebody and you're going to never talk to nobody.
Listen.
They would give me time.
Let me tell you something. Victor tells me that all the time. You block everybody.
Yeah.
And do.
But see, now you have to communicate with them. Don't block them, because for real, Tori, honestly, when I blocked my husband, and I was like, I can't do that. I realized, it took somebody. So no, it's going to be a habit, but you're going to have to break it and just let the people know what you just dislike, because some people don't know. Some people don't know what they did wrong. I'm serious. I haven't gave a lot of people the benefit of the doubt. And I came across some good guys. Okay. But I didn't give them the benefit of the doubt to let them know what they did to cause the blocking. And they didn't know. Did you go back to someone or just stay blocked? I kept them blocked. I kept them blocked. We're going to talk more about this when we get off. Yeah, but look, God ain't listen. God's not through with me yet. He ain't through with none of us. But only thing I'm saying, you have to communicate and let them know. Sometimes I don't be want to talk. I know. Just leave me alone. Let me be. Yeah. That's understandable. Just let me be. But I really appreciate you coming on the show. I'm actually trying to pull up Jamel's number before. We're gonna make sure you put in the comments the information for your dad's book. Oh yeah, and also put in the information for the cancer survivor kit in the notes in the comments as well, so people want to. And I'll get that information to Sharon as well. Yeah, and also I got a survivor kit in the car, so I can give it to you if she wants that. Okay, cool. I'm gonna text her. I'm gonna get in contact with Sharon when we sign off. Okay. And also, Sharon said, "Please let Victor sleep." We don't want to wake him up. No, we ain't gonna wake him up. But Victor gave me the moon when I said that. Him, and it was a. What do you mean blocking? I'll block you. Oh God, I'll block in a heartbeat. I got issues. I do. We all do. So my girl.
But anyway, y'all, we're gonna wrap it up because I'm approaching the Tangy T mark. Listen, we've been on here an hour and a half.
Oh my God.
I don't be talking like that. Oh my God. This is really good though. This is very informative, very fun. It was awesome. So also before I leave, I want you guys, if you would like to be a sponsor, big shout out to 119 Media Group. If you'd like to be a sponsor on any of the podcasts that we have, definitely get in contact with Mr. Jamel Lyde and let me provide you with his phone number.
Yeah.
That number is 843-687-5055. That number again is 843-687-5055. And we have a variety of podcasts that you can actually advertise your business or product or whatever you have going on.
That is awesome.
Yeah, definitely reach out to him because we have so many different podcasts. Now, I don't want to start calling out names because I'm afraid I'm gonna forget a podcast, but we have so many podcasts, so many different things. And like Tangy T, of course, is coming up tomorrow. Tangy T is on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Of course, you got a 360 Real Talk, my People's Keeper. But like I said, I don't want to start saying because I forget. And if I forgot anybody, the Bodega is coming up. I'm trying to remember all the podcasts. There's a Salt video game podcast.
Wow.
And listen, just go to 119 Media Group, subscribe to the page, and you can pull up all the podcasts. All the podcasts are there because I'm afraid I'm gonna miss somebody.
I love that.
So yeah, definitely. Yeah, so definitely reach out to Jamel and think about it. If you advertise on multiple podcasts, we got different platforms. Like me, you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Keep the Faith Podcast. Keep the Faith YouTube channel. I am Keep the Faith Podcast on Instagram, and of course you can follow the Keep the Faith page on Facebook. And 119 Media Group is on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to like or follow the Facebook page, and also 119 Media Group is on Instagram. So make sure you follow them on Instagram as well.
That's amazing.
And if you would like to be a guest on the Keep the Faith podcast, or you have a topic suggestion, you can call me at 843-920-8124. And you can actually leave a message, or you can text that number as well. Or you can email me at faithisnecessary@gmail.com. That email again is faithisnecessary@gmail.com. Tasha, when you coming back?
Listen, I'll come back anytime. This was fun. I'm out. I can come back.
Listen, we gonna have you back. Yeah. This is awesome.
I love this.
This is awesome. And of course, like I said, we got to get the word out because breast cancer is very serious.
Yes.
And a lot of people, because like I said, I had that lump at 12, and it scared the life out of me. Mm-hmm. But when you said that it can be benign and something,
it turned, because that's what happened to me.
Man, that's powerful. But thank you once again for coming on.
Yeah,
and you will definitely be coming back, and I'll keep you guys informed when she comes back. But with that being said, we're out, y'all. Thank you guys for watching. Peace. If you missed the beginning, go back and watch the replay, and we out. Bye. Peace. Let me see. Look at the more compliments. Sharon said, I believe it. Constance says, I missed it. Constance, make sure you watch the replay. All right. Bye, y'all. Peace.